Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra and this is Market Today, a show where we'll help you understand the closing action on the D Street, the last half an hour of trade. Remember, we have been on the back foot throughout the course of the day. But the good part is that towards the end of the session, we are actually recovering from the day's low point. We also climbed above the 25,000 mark in the latter part of the session today. But again, we have seen some dips after that. And right now, the Nifty is hovering around 24,990 odd points, about half odd percent lower in trade today. But a lot of sectors have actually pulled up in trade after the morning losses. So you've seen media stocks that have been hovering higher right since the morning. The index is up by 4%. That's largely on the back of Z stocks like Z Entertainment, Z Media, all of those stocks that are soaring higher in trade. Then you also have names within the metals pack that are shining bright, 0.7% higher for this one. Broader markets have recovered as well. Both the mid caps as well as the small caps are doing well. Consumer durables, oil and gas, pharma, PSU banks, these are the sectors that have recovered. But what continues to reel under pressure? It's the IT stocks, 1.4% losses, even now the top losing sectoral index. You can see the autos, FMCG also in the slower lane right now. Let's talk about the stocks that are in focus. Trent has moved up 4% in trade, and you can actually see a 9% surge on Trent in the last two sessions itself. The stock is above 6,100 odd mark, so a fresh wave of momentum is being generated on Trent. BEL, HAL, these are the defense related stocks that are hovering up. You also have names like Hindalco, Bajaj Finance, Adani Enterprises, Tata Consumer Products that are holding up. On the losing side, again, you have the IT stocks like Infosys, HCL Tech. You also have auto names like M&M, Hero, MotoCorp that's down. L&T from the engineering basket is also down. PSU stocks, the index is up by 0.8%, largely led by NHPC. HAL, BEL. You have oil and gas related stocks like Oil India, ONGC, GAIL that are up. You also have the OMCs that are recovering, and you also have the railway names that are doing very well in trade. Even the FMEG players, Polycab, KEI Industries, these are the companies that are doing well in the F&O space as well. Let's in fact welcome our guest on board, Mr. Brijesh Ail. He's the head of technicals and derivatives at Retail Research, IDBI Capital Markets and Securities, joining in. Brijesh, warm welcome. Good afternoon to you. Tell us how, would you see this as an encouraging sign, the kind of recovery that we've seen in the markets today? And intraday, again, we've tested 25,000, although not decisively so. But at the same time, we have managed to pull back right after the concerning geopolitical, fears that are erupting across the global markets.
Afternoon, Sakshi. So basically, today, whatever the recovery we saw, it's a good sign. So what this tells ki the Friday, whatever the good move came, I think that is holding up. Today might be from the technical perspective, it is a kind of an inside body, but not from the index point of view. But as you said, there are a lot of stock specific actions which are going on. Defense is moving to some extent. The consumer durable are also started to move. So there are many stocks, metal space is moving. Barring IT, I think there's a strength in the market. Even the bank Nifty is slightly sideways. So this range bound activity may keep continuing since this is expiry week, this is a monthly expiry week. So this range bound session might be seen in the index, but stock specific trades are there. There are many stocks which are giving a very clear cut breakout. So to understand from the technical point of view, any stock which is breaking the Friday's high can be treated as some maximum strength. So bias is positive. Index we may see a big directional move once the expiry is done, but stock specific action will be there.
I hope this has also given a broad understanding to all our viewers. But Brijesh, if I have to ask you, amidst such kind of a war-related, knee-jerk reactions and volatility that we see, what is the ideal way to trade in the markets for the rest of the week? The week has only begun. It began with, the news flows that US has, struck Iran at their nuclear sites over the weekend. That was a big overhang. Global markets were in a tipsy as well. How would you really look at, the trading strategies for the week then?
So as I said, it should be more of a stock specific trade, and I believe the defense stock has again started to rally. So the structure, the way for example the Garden Reach, the way it is making a new high, and today the breakout, I think that this momentum, at least for this current week, I think this momentum should last, and there is a trading opportunity in all this stock. I'm liking GRSC, and Paras defense is something which is again moving out of the range. So I think this can see 1800, 18 plus during the week. So Paras defense is something which I'm liking. Musgao dog is again taken support at the lower support at the lower level. This 3340 looks quite good on chart. So maybe from here we can play for another 100, 120 points. HAL is one which is not given a breakout. I believe there will be a range breakout in the HAL as well. So I think this defense space, purely from the trading perspective, there's an opportunity. Whoever takes the long bets, take today's low as a stop loss and ride the momentum. I think there will be some money making thing can be done in the defense space.
Okay, fair point. I hope this has also helped all our viewers understand the strategies for the week. Let's start off by talking about the specific pockets where momentum can be seen and what your strategy should be there. Let's start off with defense. That was the first space to start moving right in the morning despite the overall weakness in the markets. It was the defense space that continued to move up, and now it's near the day's high point, about 2% higher in trade. Now, names like HAL and BEL, they have been in news, in focus today. Shipbuilders like GRSC, Mazagon Dock are moving. Even drone makers like Idea Forge are up. You have, a lot of other stocks also within the same basket that are higher in trade. Any top stocks that you believe have still the potential to continue this momentum?
Yeah, I do believe this GRSC, which is already up by 6%. I think during the week we can easily see another 7-8% on the higher side. So,
Okay.
if by any chance, if during the day or maybe in tomorrow's session, if there is a slight marginal profit booking also, I think we can view that as a buying opportunity, and we can play for
Okay.
another 7-8% on the higher side. So, GRSC, this Paras and Mazgao Dog, I think there is opportunity in this.
Okay, got that. So I hope you've noted these names down from the defense pack where there is continuing to be a potential. How about railway space? Are you looking at that also closely? Today, Titagarh rallied quite smartly in the FNO space. Is the entire space coming back in focus?
It's still yet to give a confirmation, but there is specific stocks which is looking. Titagar is something which is giving a buy trade kind of a setup. So Titagar can be kept on a watch list. Beside that, IRFC is something from the railway which is again picking up the momentum. So I think IRFC should also be on your watch list.
IFCV, okay, got that. I hope this has also helped viewers out there. Let me also pull up a few stocks now. Trent is what I wanted to start off with. The top moving stock on the markets in the Nifty category today, 4% higher, 6128. Slowly and gradually, Trent is inching back to the previous highs that we had been seeing on Trent. Remember the last time around, the stunning rally that we had seen in 2024 last year for Trent. This was the only Nifty stock that managed to double investors' money in the calendar year 2024. And again, after 6 to 8 months of consolidation, the stock is back in momentum. In this week alone, we have seen an 8 to 9% kind of a move. 6128 right now, and it's at the day's high. How would you look at Trent?
Sakshi, I think the trend is back to the 200-day moving average because this is one of the resistance zone where it is taking resistance. So the rally has been there for the last couple of days, and today I think it is met with resistance. So my understanding is that somebody is having a position who has taken the position at the lower level should do some partial profit booking because this 62, 6150 or maximum 6180 they may act as the resistance zone.
Okay, fair point. I hope that you've noted down as far as the space is concerned. Let me also pull up a few more other stock ideas and sectors that we can look at. Okay, Brijesh, help us understand your top bets in the small caps and the mid caps. Are you looking at this recovery as an interesting trend, and any other stocks that you believe within the broader markets that investors can continue to keep an eye out on?
Okay, so I think small and mid caps is likely to do some good momentum. So this Chennai Petro is something which is given a very strong breakout, and it looks like this can see a larger breakout. So Chennai Petro is something which is in my list. LG equipment is something which is again getting up strength. So LG equipment from the mid and small cap space, from the level of this 530, we can see 560, 570 level. Narayana Hrudayalaya. This is one more stock which I'm keeping a watch on. We already have a position. So, but then lately there was some sideways consolidation, and today, after a very long time, it has given a very fresh breakout. So, I think this momentum should stay. Again, it's all going to be a trading opportunity. So, Narayana from the current level of 2000, 2050, that should be the continuation of the momentum. And slowly, after a very long time, since we were talking of the media stocks, network 18 is something which is again come in the watch list. So today is one of the candles that we are seeing a very good volume breakout. So if this sustain in 62, somewhere close to 62 can be the target for the network 18.
Okay, let's look at some of the other pockets then. Okay, I think it's consumer durables also that's picking up some pace. Let me just pull up some stocks here. Whirlpool is up over 4%. We have Dixon, Amber Enterprises that's also up. Kajaria, Havells, again from the cables and the wire segment. So some consumer durable names are also picking up some pace. That's one. Apart from this, there are some other interesting sectors as well that are pulling up. Pharma is another one that's also showing us some gains today. Names like Glenmark, Loris Labs, Granules, Gland Pharma, Marksons, Mankind, these are all the names that are hovering higher. Oil and gas is another one. Of course, from the morning we had been tracking Oil India, ONGC, GAIL. They're up. Adani Total Gas is also up in trade today. Mahanagar Gas. All these oil and gas related names are also buzzing. Anything interesting in the ONG basket, oil and gas space?
Okay. So I do like this space also. I think the momentum is still there.
Okay.
So IOC is something which we are kept keeping a watch because IOC, I believe that it has done with the downward correction and now it has taken a very decent support. With today's low, I think this can see a very strong bounce back. As you said, Adani, I will wait for some kind of a confirmation, but then on its own, it is looking good. So, but there is no clear trade setup, so I won't be taking that. Uh, Gujarat Gas. This is something which is again I'm liking on charts. So Gujarat Gas is done with the downward correction. I think maybe this week or maybe it will take a little longer time, but Gujarat Gas will see some good bounce, and this bounce can come three, uh, close to 480, 490 levels. And lastly, HPCL. HPCL is also one stock which is forming a base. The breakout needs to happen, but then I think if the sectors move, then HPCL will also contribute to the rally. So it is looking quite good. Means whatever I say, I believe there will be a very limited downside in this particular stocks.
Okay, got that. Taking the next one, we have this question that we need to ask of you, Brijesh, and this question will be on specific stocks even within the pharma index that we can see some momentum in. This morning, what we were looking at was that the diagnostic chains were reacting negatively. There was this news flow over the last 24 hours that Amazon is foraying into the home diagnostic space. Now, that was being seen as a dampener. Already, many of these companies were feeling heightened competition from startups within the home diagnostic space companies. And therefore, with a deep pocketed player like Amazon talking about a foray into the same space was kind of being seen as a negative for these companies. Any suggestion of how are you looking at this space? There used to be a time when we used to discuss DVs, and such stocks quite a lot.
Sakshi, the damage from the price point of view is yet to be seen. So I think it could be a more of a news-based kind of a thing. The structures for the most of the stocks are still very positive. So I'm not very sure whether these stocks will react to the news. So maybe a 2% kind of a correction. We can't take the directional call, but I still believe the pharma and the diagnostics space this may not be the outperformer this space, but that definitely this space will keep moving on the higher side. It would be a slow mover, but the structure is still can be considered as on a positive side.
Okay, got that. I hope that's something that most of our viewers who had an issue, who had an question about it, must have now got that clarified as well as to what will be the impact on the Indian companies, listed companies with this foray of Amazon. Let me also discuss, how are you looking at this cables and wires segment today? Polycab, Havells, KEI, all of them are up. Any top choice that you would want to select from this basket?
I'm having a bet on all the three.
Oh,
Polycab,
okay.
yeah, Polycab, Havels, and KEI. So I think Havels can be one of the positional bet. We can talk of 12% kind of a bet. Whereas the Polycab, already the move has come. So maybe somebody who's having a position should slightly look to do some marginal profit booking and then ride the momentum. But then most of the move is already done in the Polycab. Coming to KEI, I think KE is also very structurally, it is quite looking very strong. Now it is because the move has come, it is looking strong from the weekly and the monthly time frame also. The monthly has just started, but then the structure is very positive. So I believe Havels will be a little bit longer bet. There is a good trade in KI, and for the Polycap specifically, I think if some partial profit booking is advisable.
Okay. I hope this is something that all of you have taken down note of as well. Let's talk about some other spaces too that warrant our attention. Let me look at the broadest index, Nifty 500, to take some names here. Media related stocks are up, like I pointed out, Z Entertainment, Z Media, that's up. Some of them have also been marked out by Brijesh. We'll also look at Coffee Day Enterprises, Solara Active, Mallu Paper, Mangalore Refinery, Fiberweb. We are looking at a whole host of these names that are buzzing in trade. Smart moves across the space as well. Let me just talk about a few spaces that are also down. In fact, we must also notice both sides of the markets. So far, we've been talking about the gaining side. Let's talk about the one that's on the losing side today, IT stocks. What do you think of the IT stocks and the outlook here? There hasn't been, a kind of consistent move after the initial rally that we saw after Q4 earnings for a lot of them. Your suggestion on IT?
Sakshi, IT, we are having a positive view. There are no specific stocks that we are betting because I think I believe in the next week, like in the first week of July, the results will start coming in. From the directional view, we are liking Persistent and Tech Mahindra and to some extent Infosys also. So it would be a more of a like a positional kind of a bet. Somebody wants to play that results update. Very specifically, there are no stocks which should be played on an immediate basis. I think post monthly expiry things will be more clear. But somebody wants to take that directional view. I think Tech Mahindra and Persistent can be on the watch list.
Okay, got that. I hope this has also helped all our viewers. Let me just look at the metal space, something else that we can also discuss with Brijesh right now. Brijesh, how about the metal pack right now? Anything interesting there? There was a time when the entire JSW space was in focus, then it was the turn of Vedanta, Hindustan Zinc that was buzzing. Do you have the confidence in the metal stocks as a structural move, or is it going to be absolutely stock selective here?
I think let's take the stock specific view because I'm not very sure whether how other stocks will react. But on the specific note, this Hindalco, if one has to look at the chart, then it is about to give the range breakout. Today, the candlestick formation is quite strong. So I think if today the close at around 660, 665 level, then this momentum can continue and then we'll see good range breakout that can take it back to another 15-20 points on the higher side. So Hindalco is something which is very positive. Hindustan Copper, again, it's not given a breakout, but I believe there is a very limited downside in Hindustan Copper. From the level of this 250, I think maximum 10 points. That could be the downside risk. And on the way up, if things go well, then 170, sorry, 270, 275 can be the upside target. Then rest, if we need to keep a watching, it will be more of a sideways on its own. I don't think it is for the week the metals will perform. But yes, Hindalco and Hindustan Zinc both are looking very strong.
Okay, fair point. How about one more stock within the NBFC basket I wanted to discuss? Poonawalla FinCorp. That's smartly moving higher in the FNO basket today. How do you see this one? We have some other names also in the basket that are up despite the index being down. Chola, Bajaj Finance, Kotak Mahindra Bank, Bajaj Finserv, Power Finance Corporation. Those are the names that are higher. But Poonawalla FinCorp, I think, is standing out in the FNO space. How would you look at that?
Uh, I believe Poonawalla has given a very sharp uptick in today's session. A slightly cautious view. Maybe I am not very sure how much the continuation of this momentum will be there. So since the trend is positive, it is advisable to ride the momentum or taking a part profit is what I would be doing in the Poonawalla. We are not having any positions, so I'm not be able to clearly tell how exactly this would span out. But whenever there is a spike in a Poonawalla, it tends to be then next couple of days it looks to be a breather kind of a trade. So it is advisable to take some profits in Poonawalla. Chola is something which is extremely positive. We are having a buy trade in the Chola. Chola from the level of this 19, Chola holding from the level of 1990, I think we can see a short-term breakout in this chart. So this can be kept on the watch list. I think maybe when the sector start to move, with this we'll see a good upside.
Okay, 321. Let's take any BTST, STBT trades that you could suggest for our viewers, Brijesh, today.
Yeah, I have a two stocks. One is the Angel one. The structure of the
Okay.
Angel one is looking very extremely positive. So this recovery of 3.5%, I think maybe another 1.5% kind of a recovery is due in the morning trade. So Angel one is one, and Hudiko. Hudiko is something which is also looking quite positive in charts. So from the level of this 232, we can play another 10 points bet can be done in the Hudiko. So purely from the BTST point of view, Angel One and Hindalco should be kept on the watch list.
Angel One and Hudco, we'll keep that in mind. But since you're taking the name of Angel One, I also wanted to discuss BSE, the capital market stock that has been on everybody's radar right from the time the bonus split was announced. There was a one-way rally, then there was ASM measures that were put. A decision was taken not in favor of BSE, but Thursday was allocated as the expiry session for BSE. Today, brokerage houses reports have pointed out that there could be some loss of market share and volumes because of the shift in the expiry for BSE, although they expect by gradually in FY26 by March last quarter things could be probably coming back and the volume share and the market share could be returning to where it was. How would you look at BSE right now?
Sakshi, I think last week the whatever the low we saw, I think it has taken support, and today it has given a very strong breakout.
Yeah.
So BAC on its own is looking strong. So I believe the recent high of this 3030 is likely to be retested. Whether it will make a new high, I'm not very sure. But then yes, from the current level, it is likely to bounce toward the 3030 level. So that much momentum is there, and then once it reaches there, we can review the position. But structure and trend both remains positive.
Okay, got that. I hope this has really helped you out as well. Let me just quickly look at a few other stocks that we can pick out for our guest to discuss with us today. Let's talk about PSU stocks as large. A lot of pockets are moving. We talked about defense, we talked about railways, oil and gas as well. Power space, energy space is in the focus. Any PSU stock that's on top of your radar?
Uh, Not very sure how this might act. Tata Power is something which is looking good from the power space, but then that can be a more of a sideways kind of a trend. I think for the week, somebody has to bet on us to be more aggressive on the defense and the metal space because that is the area where I think the opportunity is there.
Okay, got that. I hope this has also helped all our viewers out. Let me just look at a few more pockets that we can discuss with Brijesh today. Okay, let's discuss the FMCG names. How are you looking at consumption basket? Is this something that would still be away from your radar? Why do you think there is so much of lackluster move and a weakness in this space that is just not able to participate in any phase?
Okay, so specifically FMCG, I think this is this is something which is a very slow mover, but I have an understanding that sooner or later both the FMCG and consumer durables, in this both space, will see some good breakout. Eventually, before talking to FMCG, I was looking at the consumer durable where Havels and Voltas are still looking extremely positive on charts. So maybe this may not work for the week, but then over the next coming over the couple of weeks, I think this sector might move, and FMCG may is likely to also do some kind of a trading bounce. So that trading opportunity is there in both the consumer durable and the FMCG space.
I hope, okay, this has also helped our viewers take in some insight on that aspect. Brijesh, we have often discussed with you the new age tech space, the likes of Zomato, Swiggy. Often we have discussed this one, and we've also often taken your choice between the two as well. I want to ask you today, beyond Zomato and Swiggy also, do you find any interesting opportunities in the new age tech basket?
Uh, to be very frank, I'm not very sure which stock to talk about, but after a very long time, after the recent correction in the Zomato, which is eternal, I think again it has taken a support. I think Swiggy, I will not be taking a call because that momentum which has to come in the Swiggy is already done. But I think why eternal? Because I believe it came from the level of 300, and this level might be achieved in the next couple of quarters. But then it is having a very strong. So my understanding is that the stock should go back to 300. So every time there is a correction or whenever there is a clear-cut structure, it's come in a oversold kind of a zone. I think that's always an opportunity. So Eternal, now recently it took support at 245. So I think there's opportunity, and we can play that 15-20 points move. So there's it looks quite good on chart.
Continues to be the choice. Now, when we talk about the food space, the QSR space, even that one is showing us some uptick today. Names like Westlife Food, Coffee Day Enterprises, even names like Restaurant Brands Asia that operates Burger King. A lot of these QSR space stocks, they are coming back in focus. Anything interesting here?
This restaurant brand, this Burger King is looking good on chart. So I think, but then this can be more of a bounce kind of a trend, not a directional. So that opportunity is there. Coffee Day is, I am not very sure whether this momentum will last. So I won't be taking any fresh bets. But if somebody is having a position, yeah, you can hold on. But making a fresh entry is not advisable. Jubilant is okay. I think from the level of the 690, the volumes are missing. So I'm not very confident whether how the move will come. I think only one stock at Burger King is something which is, as of now, if somebody needs to play restaurant brand, then that is one in the watch list.
Okay. Brijesh, in the end, help me understand, you did talk about the strategy that one must follow in the markets during these geopolitical tensions as well. Are there any war-proof, geopolitical tension-proof stocks that you would want to identify and tell our viewers?
It's a very difficult what stocks are now. So I think the stocks like SBI Life, SJC Life, these are having a very strong hand. So somebody who wants to take a safe bet because the trend is extremely positive in this space. So that even SJC, AMC. So these stocks are looking quite good on charts. So I think that should one can have a safe hands on that.
Fair point. Okay, Brijesh, we'll thank you then on that note for being with us in the closing edition today and helping us with all your insights. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Okay, 24,958 viewers. We still close in the red, but 155 points lower. But we did come back quite a bit from the low point of the day. That's a little bit of solace that you can see. Markets kind of digesting the initial blow that was being seen across the globe because of these geopolitical tensions. Let's see and hope that things improve for the better. Today, on the Nifty, while you have a 0.6% decline, the broader markets, the mid and the small caps definitely buck the trend among the major indices, about 0.5% higher for both of them. You have media stocks, consumer durables, metals, pharma, oil and gas as the winning sectors today. IT, auto and FMCG dragged in today's trading session. Top moving stocks on the Nifty were Trent, BEL, Hindalco, Bajaj Finance, Tata Consumer Products, Coal India. While on the lower end, it was Infosys, HCL Tech, L&T, Hero Moto, M&M as well. When we talk about the F&O space, Titagarh Rail, Poonawalla FinCorp, RBL Bank, these were the top movers. On the lower end, you had Astral, Siemens, Oracle Financial Services also on the weaker side as well as far as the F&O action is concerned. The closing print is in front of you, 24,959 on the Nifty. We close in the red as far as the beginning of this week is concerned. Let's hope things turn better and there is a contained action and things go, the way of rather conciliatory measures that are taken on the global geopolitical front, but everything will have to wait to be found out. And of course, tonight when we see the global markets reaction, tomorrow again we will be prepared for another day. We'll keep you posted with everything that's buzzing on the D Street, everything that's of importance within the world of business and finance with you, and of course what's happening on the international borders between Israel and Iran, and of course with US stepping in there, how are things going to go forward? Everything, there's a one-stop shop for you, Business Today Television. Stay tuned.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to you on Business Today Television. It's an exciting Monday after an equally busy weekend. All of us know that there was a massive attack by the United States on Iraq's